What is up, YouTube? And I am back with another video. I hope you guys have enjoyed my previous videos. If you have not watched it, go down below and check that out. I did want to make this video with this mask on because I was actually doing something that you guys will see on social media. Not right now. After, hopefully, when I post this video, it's gonna be already be up. But what I did want to show you guys about this, I actually got this from Ulta, the Ulta store, and I believe it was maybe like $6, but it's so worth it. And it's actually this one right here. It's the Draw It All Out Skin Detoxing Peel Mask. Um, I honestly like it just because of the smell. That's one of my biggest things about it because I hate when I put a mask on and it doesn't have any scent. Um, but I don't know, I like it. Um, and the front of it, it's purple, and it says the peel works like a supercharged magnet to attract and bind dirt that is clogged deep within your pores. Bamboo, charcoal, and wild plum work quickly to detox pores and gently exfoliate. Go deep and draw it all out. So that is it. I love this mask. I attempt to do this about maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And what I do is after I take a shower, I brush my teeth, and I actually also use Noxema, I think it is. And it's in a blue container about this high. It's all blue, and the letters are white. I use that one before I put this one on because I feel like that one um, allows this the charcoal mask to take over completely, and all the pores actually exfoliate, and it works amazingly at like just the combo that I use together. I absolutely love it. I was always looking for a charcoal mask that doesn't make my face feel like sticky afterward because I know a lot of people were buying like the ones from I believe it was Wish and like AliExpress, and was in a little black bottle as well. I don't remember what the front looks like. If I find a picture, I will add it into this video so you guys can see. But I used that one for a little while, and that one had my face feeling a little bit sticky, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. And this one, what I tried to do, I don't put a lot up here because I don't really break out, but I do have like hidden zits that are starting to come out. Um, but I tend to do the full amount here. I like a thick layer. As you can tell, it's really dark. It's a little glary because of the stove light. But I love using this one, and I like to put it here, mainly on my nose. As you can tell, I put it all over because my nose has so many blackheads, and I feel like I can never just stop popping them. And it's always like, oh, when am I gonna get over all these blackheads? Literally, my nose always looks like I can do zigzag over it. Like I can just draw, connect the lines, and it's just crazy. So that is this mask. Check this mask out if you guys are looking for something to exfoliate your skin and make your skin feel absolutely amazing. Um, but the main reason I wanted to make this video is because today is Tuesday. And what Tuesday is to me is communication day. And I actually made a little hashtag about it that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And it's called Talk It Out Tuesdays. Everything has to be spoken about. Whether it's an argument, whether if it's something that you've gone through with sexual assault, abuse, rape, if you're going through addiction, suicidal thoughts, talk it out, guys. When you speak about things of this nature, it helps you guys, like, I guess in a way, it eases a lot of the things that you're going through mentally and maybe physically. You may beat yourself up sometimes and down yourself, but when you speak about things, it helps you feel so much better. And honestly, I think this is something that I just started learning how to do because I wasn't the best communicator, and I felt like that was always like a bump in my relationship, and now marriage. And now we're like able to speak about so many different things, and we can just talk about, like, I know a lot of couples are like, oh, why are you talking about your ex? Well, if she doesn't talk about it to me, she's gonna talk about it to someone else. So I'd rather her feel comfortable and let me know, like, like, hey, this and this and this happened, or whatever the case is. Be honest with me, and that's what I love about our relationship. We're 100% honest. We don't lie about absolutely anything. She knows all of my dark secrets. I know all of her dark secrets, and that has built our relationship so much higher. And I think that can do it to anyone, honestly. But my goal with making this video is so you guys can learn how to communicate with one another, communicate to others, communicate to your parents if you guys are having a hard time with them, and just learning how to communicate overall. And I'm saying this in complete honesty when I know that it's extremely hard to communicate, because it took me years, and I never had someone who like actually sat down with me and like, okay, we need to sit down, we need to fix this, we need to make sure that we are okay. And I think that's a plus that came out of my relationship. Like, not only do I have my best friend, but I have my wife that I can tell everything to and not feel like I'm gonna get judged or criticized. So definitely talk it out. If it's something that you guys want to do on a specific day, then do it on that specific day. Sorry guys, my leg just plopped up on the chair. But do it on a specific day, if you have to, or you can do it every day. Do it when you feel comfortable. I know that it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practicing, and it may sound silly, but it does take a lot to communicate. Sometimes we say things out of anger and we just lash out, and it's something that we can absolutely regret. Some people don't really see it that way, and they can say whatever it is that they feel to whoever it is and not really care about how that person feels, or how that person got offended, or how they hurt them. So that was something I did a lot because of, things that I went through in the past. And any person who tried to come around me, I was very like negative, very hostile towards them. I didn't want anything to do with communicating with anyone, because when I needed someone to listen to me, I felt like I didn't have anyone. So sadly, it took me a longer time than I had to learn to communicate, but I have been doing it, and I think I've been doing pretty well. So that's my goal with you guys. I want you guys to learn how to let go of things. Communicate about the issues or things that you're going through or you have gone through. If you have someone that you don't, or you feel like you're in it by yourself and you have no one to talk to, you're not. Talk to someone. Reach out to a best friend. Reach out to someone you don't know. Even if you want to start like a pen pal thing. If you guys ever want someone to speak to and you want to speak about it through social media. If you guys want to speak about it through FaceTime, whatever the case is, you guys want to write me a letter, you guys can do that. Feel free to ask me, hey, what's your address? And I'll give you, a P.O. box or somewhere that you can send me a letter, and I can receive it, read it, and then respond back to you in full honesty. I love giving out my phone number to people that I feel like I can help. This is starting to itch, and it's because it's drying up, so I will take it out in just a few seconds. But what was I saying? Yeah, if you guys want to start like a talk it out group or communication group or a self-empowering group, let's do that. If you are willing to do that, like this video and also comment below and say, hey, let's do the group chat, or I'm in, like, just show me like, hey, you guys want to be in the group chat, so we can empower one another, so we can talk about everything and anything, so that we're comfortable enough to open up to one another, so we get motivation from other people, from friends, from family, if you guys want to put them into the group chat as well. But as of now, we're going to be complete strangers, or people who we have some sort of communication with, and we're going to grow into an amazing friendship. And later on in life, if we ever meet up, then we can show YouTube what it is about. So since I keep talking, this is drying up, I'm going to take this off, so bear with me. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back, and I have taken that mask off. I feel like it makes my face look so much glossier, but not oily, and I think that's like my main goal, especially now that I'm starting to do makeup. I hate when my makeup starts like bulking up because I have so much oil on my face. Sorry, my bangs are not cooperating. But like I was saying, my goal to you guys is learning how to communicate, although it may be extremely hard. And when I say that it's hard, I truly mean that, because it took me years to like sit down and be like, you know what, okay, I need to fix this problem. We need to sit down and communicate because this is wrong, or just actually sitting down and analyzing before I attack. And that's something that all humans do. I feel like we all learn how to retaliate before we know how to communicate and understand one another. And that is why I wrote my second bullet point, or my second option, whatever. And it's saying, why is it important? What I always say, And I say this to everyone. Sometimes I post it on social media. Sometimes I post it, or sometimes I send it in a text message to a friend who really needs to hear it. And I honestly say communication is power and key. And without it, where would we be? You can't be successful. You can't be who you want to be if you don't learn how to communicate. Because what if you're going through an issue, let's say with your boss or a colleague at work, and it gets so conflicted at work and you feel uncomfortable and you're willing to quit your job or you're willing to start an issue with this person just so that they can get fired, or the worst case scenario mean you can get fired because of the situation. Same thing with family. Like sometimes we retaliate and we just become this horrible person because we feel like we were disrespected, because we felt like we were getting attacked. So our defense mechanism is obviously attack back. So that is my goal with today. Learn how to talk it out, learn how to sit down and analyze things. And that's something that I learned myself within the last maybe a year or so, because I didn't know how to communicate just because of the things that I went through prior um, to me moving to Massachusetts. I never had someone to actually listen to me, actually show me that they really cared to hear what I had to say. So I blocked everyone out. I didn't communicate with anyone. I didn't even want to speak about what I was going through anymore because I felt like nobody was going to listen to me regardless. So when people would tell me, but what's wrong? Communicate. When I got a therapist, when I got a psychiatrist, I didn't feel like I could speak to them because I didn't really feel like they cared. And then I realized that's something that I put into my mind, and that's something that I let myself believe because no one else was willing to listen to me. So now what I do is I sit down and analyze what you said, or I sit down and I'll think about what I'm going to say before I say it, because before I used to just attack and not care who was offended. Um, I basically I had no hair on my tongue. I would just say exactly what I felt, how I felt, whenever I felt, and that created a lot of issues for me. Issues that I wish didn't get to the point that they did, but they did. And like I said, and I said this on social media, like when we make mistakes, a lot of people are so prideful and have so much ego, they don't know how to apologize. So I did that, and I did that publicly, and I know because there's people who look on my social media through other people's pages instead of sending me a follow request or adding me as a friend on whatever social media site, and they tend to see everything that I post. So what did I do? I thought I was super mature about it, and I didn't do anything disrespectful. I didn't go, to an extreme. All I said is sometimes people make mistakes. Sometimes people say and do things that they don't mean or they shouldn't have done at that moment because they didn't sit down and analyze or observe all of the aspects of what was going on. And they retaliate, they attack, and they scream and they fight and they say hurtful things because that is the things that I used to do. So what did I do? I said, I apologize. Everyone goes through things, everyone says things, but it's up to you if you're gonna sit back and you're gonna respect that you did wrong, accept the consequences, and then move forward. You can apologize. If you don't get an accepted apology or a forgiveness, then you know that's really what it is. But you were able to mature enough, and you were able to be like, you know what, I need to sit down and I need to speak with you because this is what I felt, this is what I did, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did it because of such. And I think that was like a big step for me because I did that with my mom. I did that with my spouse, my father, my sister. I did that with people that I know that I offended at one point. And I honestly said, like, I accepted my consequences, but right now I'm being blessed in the biggest way ever because, God has not stopped failing me. Sorry, opposite way. God hasn't failed me. Everything that I ask for, everything that, I pray about, everything that I'm looking for, somehow it just appears. And I know that's all because I learned how to accept my faults and I was able to move forward. Although some people that I apologized to or they seen the apology didn't accept it, I was fully okay with that. I'm like, you know what? At least I did my part in apologizing and knowing what I did wrong and trying to move forward. So that is the goal. If you offended someone in some way because you feel like you were being retaliated, try to get to a common ground. Try to communicate with that person because sometimes the people we fight the most with is the person that we really can't live without. And it sucks that sometimes we go about things in the way that we do, but we have to go that way based on what our emotions are. Which is why I'm saying sit down, communicate, learn each other, talk about things that bother you, bother the other person. Get to a common ground of an argument. If you guys argued extremely um, I mean, if it's still fresh, wait it out, because I feel like even when you argue and it's not that big of an issue, if one person takes it as a huge issue, then they're not ready to sit down and communicate. And that's something I also learned with my partner. Sometimes when we fight, we don't fight anymore. Honestly, we've learned to like communicate and get to like a common ground so we can move forward. And we never last upset. We honestly will laugh it off and we'll just hug each other and kiss and just call it a day and we'll just keep going on. Um, but there are some arguments or disagreements that aren't so easy to get over, and we've had to learn to be like, you know what, I don't want to talk right now because this just bothered me. Can we talk later? And that's completely okay, and that's what I actually want you guys to do. If you don't feel comfortable talking to the person because you feel disrespected, be like, you know what, I feel bothered about what you just said or how you just reacted to this. I'm going to take a step back and we'll talk whenever I'm ready. If you want to talk before then and I feel like I'm ready and I won't retaliate or I won't scream back, then let's have that conversation. And that's what we learned how to do. And I think that's worked perfectly for us. And I always tend to do the table method, and it's sit with each other at the table but across from one another. So she's sitting here and I'm sitting right here, and we're just getting to an agreement to understand, like, hey, you know, this was wrong, this was not okay, or you said this and I felt offended by this, and getting to an understanding. So that is your goal. Understand one another, communicate to one another, because if you don't communicate, you're going to lose all of the relationships and you're going to end up by yourself. So even if the person doesn't accept the apology, try to move forward from it. And if it's something that you guys are both prideful about, and you guys feel like in 5 years down the road, it's gonna be something that's still gonna be, I guess, hurting you, or it's still gonna be something that's fresh on your mind, walk away. Don't let it be something that eats you up and you have to keep retaliating, you have to keep attacking, you have to keep disrespecting, you have to keep going through the same issue. Just let it be. Sometimes the best word is the one that you don't say, because you can say something and you think it's okay and it's like whatever, but that deep down hurts people. And I've seen a lot of arguments end up that way, because I actually know someone who was friends with a girl for, I believe it was 12 or 13 years. And that person was going through a lot of issues with her mother. And at one point, her mother told her, you know what, I never loved you. I wish I never gave birth to you. I wish I would have aborted you. And that sunk in with her. And I mean, she was going through the ultimate depression. She didn't know how to speak to anyone. She didn't want to speak to a counselor, her friend. She didn't want anyone to know, but her mom ended up saying to her best friend, um, I wish I never said this. And she said that to her after her daughter committed suicide. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons I'm saying, try to sit down, try to understand the person before you retaliate, before you say something that you're going to regret, because you don't want someone to take their life and you end on a bad term because of something that you said towards them. Um, and I think that's one of my biggest things is bullying, and people who, you know, encourage people to be rude and malicious to people, because why would you want someone else to be miserable because you don't like that person? Why do you want someone to hate the person that you don't like? No, don't do that. Encourage them to speak. If it's something that they can't get to a common grounds about, go your separate ways, and that's it. But you don't want someone to commit suicide, and the last thing that you guys had a conversation about is how you called her fat, how you called her ugly, how you called her stupid, how you regret meeting her. No, don't do that. Sit down, analyze, and know that sometimes if that person was to repeat the same thing that you said back, you would feel the same exact way. We don't want people to commit suicide. We want people to communicate. We want people to open up. And that's what um, I want this group chat to be about. I want us to encourage one another. If you feel like you're having a down day, let's talk about it. And we're all going to chip in. We're all going to speak. You know, sometimes, I mean, obviously, a lot of us work, you know, have husbands, wives, families, kids, school, work, anything of that sort. But we're going to make one of our priorities is to make sure that if one person in our group is not okay, then we're going to reach out to that person in full extent, and we're going to make sure that you are okay, you can speak to us, and we're going to try to help you in the best way that we can. The reason why I feel like we should do that is because we can prevent so many people from committing suicide. We can prevent so many people from being bullied if we stick together as one. And it doesn't have to just be women. It can be women and men, all women or men. It doesn't matter. As long as you guys are able to communicate. So creepy. I'm like, sorry guys, my wife brought my kitten out. Come here, mama. No? Okay. So I feel like if we can talk and we can be friends with people we have never met and we can make sure that they're okay, you guys can do this to people that you are close with. So we're gonna start a group chat. In the comments below, say I am in. I want to be in the group chat so I can create the group chat and then we can all speak. Every day I will say good morning, how are you guys, how are you feeling, and I will throw an inspirational quote out there, motivational quote. If I'm feeling down, I'll throw something, I'll just say what I feel, and I expect the same thing from you guys, and we can communicate about that so you guys don't feel like you're alone. I feel like nowadays, we feel like we can't trust a lot of people. We feel like we shouldn't have any friends because of how society is raising these people, how society is making people expect a friendship to be. A friendship is encouraging one another. A friendship is letting you know that yes, you may want it this way, but I'm gonna tell you the best way you should go about it, or the best way I see my perspective to be. I feel like that was a lot of the issues with my friendships prior to where I am now, because a lot of people felt the need to try to manipulate my thoughts or didn't like the way that I came off across things, because I'm the type of friend that if I see something going wrong or if I see that you're gonna make the same mistake over, I'm gonna be like, hey, you already did that. You know what I mean? This person doesn't see this for you, or this person doesn't see that for you. And a lot of people took that into the wrong perspective. And I honestly, I can't say I don't have friends because I have friends, but for afar. And it's not because we have any issues or because me being in a different state. It's because we've learned to understand that whenever a lot of people come and reach out to me, is they're looking for like a harsh reality. And I'm very honest, I'm very blunt, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. You can be my best friend, I can love you with all my entire heart, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, that's the right decision when it's not. I'd rather see you do good. And even though you'll be hurt with the decision you have to make, like I said in the beginning, you guys make your own decisions. You guys will do and say what you choose. Oh, I don't think I actually said that, but I'm going to say it now. You guys say and do what you choose, but think and absorb things wisely. Make sure you guys make the right decision so you don't regret what you're going to say. Or you don't resent someone because they told you to do something and you believe what they said. No, sit down, take in the advice, and if it's something that you want to do it in the way that you want to do it. Don't do it in the same exact way that person told you to. And that's the type of person that I am. I always tell my friends, like, hey, are you sure you want to do that? Like, this person is doing this and this, like, why are you going to step back into that predicament? Or maybe you should have taken a tone down. I'm that person. I'm very blunt, I'm very honest, and I want to make sure that not only are you happy, but I'm happy that you're happy. Like, there can be a person in your life and you think you're absolutely obsessed. As a friend, you see everything from the outside. You see how the person treats, your friend or best friend, whatever the case is, or a family member. You see how the other person, their significant other, treats them. And maybe you can see it one way, but maybe they're going through it in a different way. Give them your advice. Be like, hey, I seen how you guys were acting about this, or I seen how he reacted to you saying this. Are you guys okay? And if you guys go into communicating and speaking about it a little bit further in depth, that's amazing. That's what you guys want to do. Communicate. Make sure that your friends are good. Make sure that your friends are not being manipulated, or of things being done behind their back and no one says anything. Communicate. Learn how to love one another. Learn how to accept sometimes that we're wrong. Sometimes we say things out of spite, out of anger, out of retaliation, and sometimes we're wrong. Honestly, maybe 99% of the time when we speak out of anger, we're wrong. And then we're saying things that, yes, we're hurt, and that's what we mean at that moment, but you're going to regret it when that person blocks you completely out of their life because of something that you said out of anger. Which is the reason why I am going to say this. I want you guys to learn how to communicate better, how to better your communication skills, and I did it out of an acronym of the word love. So L is for listen, O is for observe, V is for value, and E is for elaborate. And the reasons I did those is because the L stands for listen. Listen to the other person. Listen to what their fears are. Listen to what hurt them. Listen to what bothered them. always observe their facial expression, observe how they're reacting to the things that you're saying, observe how the conversation is going. If you're starting to notice that it's getting a little bit more hectic, if it's starting to turn into an argument instead of a discussion, then back down and walk away from it. Be like, you know what, when we come to a common ground and we can sit down and talk neutrally without having it being an issue, or without having it turn into an argument, then we can do that. That is the biggest thing, because once you guys start screaming at each other, or like you'll throw a subliminal to one person, the other person will throw one back, and you guys are just going to keep attacking each other until you guys get so upset that you guys both want to walk away. Don't do that. Just, if you start notice that it's getting hectic, be like, okay, can we talk about it whenever we're not getting all riled up, or when when I notice that you're ready to, or comfortable enough to talk about the situation. V is value and respect each other's opinion and feelings. And I think that's something that's extremely important, because if you don't value how the person feels, you're kind of just sitting there listening to them, and you're not going to take effect to what they're saying. So if I'm telling you, you told such and such that she's beautiful, but you don't tell me that I'm beautiful, or you told this person they should die, or God forbid anyone says that. Please don't say that. I'm just saying, like, don't tell someone harsh things. Value and respect their opinions. If it's someone in your family and you feel like your partner's being attacked, or they're being bullied because they don't want that person to be with you, step in. Be like, you know what, if you guys are not comfortable with this person being around, then I'm not going to come around. Because if you love me, then you have to learn to love the person that I'm with. And that's something that I did in my relationship and with my family, and they had to come to terms with it, because it's either learn how to love the person that I love, or learn to not have me around for family gatherings, for family parties, for holidays, for birthdays. That's just reality, because why am I going to make the person that I'm with, the person I'm spending my life with, feel uncomfortable because I want to go spend time with my family? No. If you don't like that person, then you won't be seeing me around. That's a sad reality. I'll say my birthday wishes. I'll say congratulations, whatever the case is. Happy New Year, happy birthday, happy Kwanzaa, whatever. But I will keep my distance, because I will make sure that me and my are good before I try to satisfy what anybody else feels or thinks about my partner. E is elaborate. Elaborate. Don't keep anything back. Be completely honest, but say it in a very toned way. Don't be like, oh well, I think you're a beat. No. Don't say, oh well, you look stupid doing this or doing that. No. Take it easy. Be like, you know what, I feel like you should have done this in a different way. I feel like the way that you reacted, you overreacted, and it made you seem this type of way. Try to communicate. Elaborate on what you feel thoroughly. Don't disrespect the person, because that's what's going to make the conversation turn hectic. I'm going to be doing these more and more often. I am going to do something from Monday to Friday, and I will probably even do a Sunday here and there when I'm not working, because I do work Sundays. It's not a long day, but it feels like a long day when you're working by yourself, and it's extremely hectic. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning into my video, and I hope you guys learned something. Like I said, my goal for you guys is learn how to communicate. If you guys are feeling like you don't know how to communicate, or you need to find a way to better interpret what people are saying, reach out to me. We can talk about it. You can talk to a counselor, you can talk to a therapist. Find someone that you feel comfortable talking to about certain information or certain things, and tell them, hey, I feel this way, but I don't know how to acknowledge it, I don't know how to express it, and then go from there. Also, in the comments below, let me know if you guys are interested in coming out or being into the group chat. It's going to be a daily group chat. We're going to say good morning, how are you. We are going to grow a friendship. We are going to grow bonds. We're going to grow self-love, respect, value. We're going to learn how to communicate with one another. We're going to learn how to express to one another. And that is our goal. We're learning how to be stronger people. We're learning to be independent with people around us. We're learning how to move forward. We're learning how to forgive. That is our big goal for 2019 of mine, is learning how to forgive. Like the saying says, forgive but never forget. Yes, it can stay in your mind. Yes, it can dwell, but learn how to forgive the person. Because if you keep eating up at the things that the person did to hurt you, to idolize or intimidate you or disrespect you, you're gonna keep eating up at it. You're never going to be happy. Learn how to forgive that person. Even if they don't ask for your forgiveness, you can say to yourself, you know what, I forgive this person. Because if I keep thinking about the things that they did to hurt me, I'm never going to move forward. I'm never going to be happy. It's going to keep eating at me. Don't do that anymore, guys. Love yourself, respect yourself, love everyone else around you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you want to be in my group chat. And I will see you guys later. Bye.